Let me start completely over. Good evening and welcome to the Code of the Conscious Man, where we explore topics to support the whole man on your life journey, enriching your mind, body, and soul. I'm your host, John Amon, and tonight we are welcoming a one of a kind guest to share insights about how a man can totally transform his health by detoxifying the body and cleansing the spirit. But before we engage in our amazing guests, I want to acknowledge tonight's sponsors. It is my life coaching business, Enritual. I am a certified life coach, and supporting men and fathers is my mission. And this is to engage life on a powerful journey, so that they can proceed and be the conscious leaders that they were designed to be. So, if you are a man or a father interested in a consultation, visit a ritual booking link. I'll post that in the chat and also upon all my social media outlets. But without further ado, please let's welcome tonight's guest, the owner of Roots Cuisine. And this is someone that I have been wanting to interview for some time. Please help me welcome Moses of Roots Cuisine.
What's going on, man? How you doing? How you
What's
doing?
going on, man?
Man, all is well, man. All is well. All is great.
Like I said, man, I've been wanting to dive into this conversation for a while because I
Yeah.
remember it was a friend of mine. She had told me about your business about when I was early in my journey of being a vegan, and she told me that there's a guy I know. He has a really strong business when it comes to juicing and just cleansing the body. And I remember when I got on that cleanse, it was definitely the real deal.
Yeah.
It's definitely not something you just, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man. And you did the 9 day cleanse, right?
I did it like a
Yeah.
fool first time.
Hey, you definitely got to be a soldier to do a 9 day cleanse. So I
Yeah,
definitely commend you for jumping in and
yeah,
going that route the first time.
yeah, man. Like it was something that I didn't properly know everything about. I didn't dive into, like, I didn't do enough research, but I knew that's what I wanted to do. But I'm glad that I did,
Right.
because that
Right.
opened up everything,
Yeah.
everything to my journey to become a vegan, plant based, and etc. But
It's definitely a good starter. Juicing is definitely
mhm,
a good starter to any type of change. My motto is all new beginnings start with a cleanse.
mm,
So
mm,
I don't tell people what to eat. I don't tell you, I don't say be vegan or be plant
yeah,
based or be a
yeah,
carnivore. I just say we all need to detox, no matter how what we put into our digestive system. Everybody needs a cleanse. Because even on a vegan diet, I know people who still ended up in the hospital, still ended up with heart disease or
mm,
strokes on a vegan diet, and it's all because we don't know that all that estrogen and gluten and processed foods inside of vegan food is actually killing us, doing more harm to us than it actually is helping us.
and that's why I knew you were the man to talk to when it comes to what is good and healthy for the body when it comes to being plant based or vegan.
Right.
Because a lot of the things that are in our foods, even when they say that they are organic or they are naturally grown, it's still GMO to
Exactly.
some extent.
Yeah, you never
And
know, man. You never
yeah,
know. Unless you're growing your own foods out your own kitchen, on your own balcony or backyard, you don't know. Business
hmm
is business. That's how I feel. I feel like business is business. And you
hmm
got a large farm, regardless if you say, oh, my stuff is organic. This is
hmm
your money. This is your livelihood. So I feel like if
hmm
anything, if something was to happen, like say they got a lot of parasites or pesticides, a lot of pests that's, attacking their crops, they're gonna
hmm
do whatever they gotta do to protect their crops.
right,
You feel me? And they
right,
have people who gonna stand behind them to be like, let's keep it on the hush. Let's just say this is still organic. You feel me? So
hmm
you never know. So even if it's organic, we still want to wash our produce and take care of it, and then do the regimen that we need to do to make sure we're doing the best that we need to do for our own health.
thanks. And first before we get into our topics, and I know one of the topics
Yeah, cause
I
we just
already
jump right
sent
into it.
over to you, but before we get into it, like, I want to know more about like your daily ritual, like when it comes to getting prepared for the day.
Okay.
So like when it comes to vegan or being plant-based, like unless you're cooking your own food, it is really challenging to find food that's
It
healthy
is. It
and
is.
tastes good,
Right.
that's affordable.
Yeah.
So if you go the plant-based route, I mean, you're going to be paying extremely high. They tax that stuff heavy.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
Like as far as your ritual when it comes to your daily practice of you, like your eating or your juicing or your
So, okay. So
detoxing.
overall, or just like
Yeah.
my eating
Yeah.
habits,
hmm
both of them, or just like eating habits.
Well, let's first start with just your daily habits, like your daily ritual. Like, how do you get
Okay.
ready for your day?
So I've been getting my day with first thanking God for bringing, for opening my eyes for another day.
hmm
Bringing me into this world to fix it, to do over, to accomplish something more. To fix steps, to clean up my foundation. I always give thanks to God first for waking me up. Um, I either be still. I'm not big on meditation anymore. I'm
mm
more of a runner, so I go on. That's my meditation. I don't feel like meditation is always be still, keep your legs crossed, keep your eyes closed. Like that's just not for me anymore. I think I personally moved past that. Um,
mm
but I listen to music. I listen to some type of motivational or inspirational post,
Yeah.
mostly Steve Harvey or Will Smith, TDJ, just something that's going to motivate me to get my day started. Something, because sometimes I might wake up on the wrong side of the bed and I don't feel like, accomplishing anything that day. So I need to
hmm
have some type of motivation. I need to have some grown man screaming at me, telling me to get my life together for me to for me to wake up and want to do it.
I don't know what it is, man, but it's something about somebody telling you to get your ass
Yeah,
up.
I guess I just got to get my ass up. So,
yeah.
so that's one thing I do. It's a mixture of things. Either I'm dancing. I just need something that's going to lift my spirit when I get up, like something that's going to set that intention, set that foundation. So
hmm
another one of my sayings is, you got to set your intention for yourself. Or either I do it at the day of, or I do it the night before. So I
hmm
always set my intentions intensively, intimately, and I'm attentive to the message. I'm missing one. Intimately, intensively, and be
hmm
attentive to the message. So I always
hmm
go about, spirit is always speaking to us on a daily basis. So I always tell myself, be attentive because the message is going to always come. We're here in school to learn a new lesson every day. Um, the
hmm
next thing I do is I take a shower. I juice, either do a fresh juice or do a fresh smoothie. Go for a run and just start my workout. And
So
that's
you
my
juice every day.
every day.
That's what you're saying.
Okay?
You juice every day.
No, not every single day. I don't juice every single day. Sometimes I do just coconut water. I do a juice or I do a smoothie. It just kind of like I juggle between those three.
hmm hmm
And I do an ab workout. I have an ab workout that I made for myself. I do that every day. So I try to stay in that same routine. They say you do it for 3 months, it's gonna become a habit. So
hmm
trying to create that habit for myself.
So now I don't think we can just breeze over something you said at the very beginning. You said that you don't meditate anymore. Man, people gonna come after you,
Uh,
man. people gonna come after you, bro.
I do recommend meditation for other people. When people come to me and they and give them consultations about certain things, I
hmm
tell them to meditate. It's a good starter. I know a lot of people do recommend meditation, but it's just not for me. I just, personally, I sit there and meditate. My legs start falling asleep, so now I'm sitting down catching a toilet horse. So I feel like there's different ways that we can meditate. I
mm
meditate through skating. I didn't meditate so much where I didn't meditate and tapped out of my mind to where I didn't realize I was even running 7 miles. So I ran 9 miles
That's
meditating. Like
good.
I'm running and I'm doing the same thing I would meditate. Like I'm in my head, addressing things, processing things,
Mm.
maneuvering through files. Like I'm doing the same thing I would do sitting still. I'm doing that running, and that's just for
Mm.
me personally.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know now. Like I still currently work 8 9 to 5. That's my side hustle. That's
Okay,
no longer my real job. That's my
right.
side
I feel
hustle.
that. I feel that.
And I know like one of the hardest things to do was to meditate during the day
Yeah.
because I'm constantly being pulled. I have to attend to this customer, or I have
Mhm.
to help this sales rep, and all these different
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I got into walking meditation. So
Hmm.
literally, when I have time to just sit and focus and not be pulled in this direction or that direction, I'm able to concentrate on my intention. I'm
Exactly.
able to to stay focused on something that I need.
Right.
And this started, I would say this really started at, I would say last year, but really after January of this year.
Hmm.
Um, when I really had a real shift, that's when I really started to meditate in that manner.
Okay.
Now my lady, now she's able to sit down and meditate and sit still, and she's able to do her thing, but
Yeah.
like I know, like I realize that's something for me that I struggle with. Like
Right.
I have to be in some type of motion, or I have to be doing something, and I know that helps. But I'm getting into learning to kind of be
And I
still.
wouldn't even say it's a struggle. I wouldn't even look at it as a struggle. I just think we all
Mm,
have different ways on how we focus.
mm,
You know,
mm,
sometimes I look at when I'm cooking, that's meditation for me. Like that's what put me in my state of happiness, my state of
mm-hmm.
joy. That's when I feel the most calm. Like that's when I feel like my spirit is getting the attention that it needs. And I think that's what meditation is all about. You know, we're walking into a new school way of spirituality and of thinking. And I think we also need to evolve what it means to meditate. Because it's not just sitting
Agree.
still. You know, everybody is different. You know, it's kind of like the classroom. Everybody can't learn in a classroom by sitting in a desk. Some people are hands-on. Some people are readers. Some people are listeners. Everybody don't learn the same. Just like we all don't meditate the same. We all don't journey the same. We all don't grow the same. And I think for
So,
me, running this my meditation now. I think I evolved past that, you know, sitting meditation.
now you mentioned something that I think that's very key, and I don't know if people have been able to kind of see the shift, but
Mm-hmm.
I'll say in the year, I would say towards like I would say in the year 2019 to 2020.
Okay.
Those 2 years I felt was a huge paradigm shift for
Yes.
spiritual becoming more awakened to
Yes.
their own spiritual awareness. I
Mm-hmm.
know me, myself, and I, that was when I became vegan. I lost a ton of weight, and I just did like I just went cold turkey.
Yeah.
I know when I started juicing, when you sent me your products, literally I went cold turkey. I dropped I dropped over 33 pounds in that 3 month time period after I
Yeah.
started juicing. And then
Amazing.
ever since then, that's when I started to learn differently as far as being aware of who I am, what I need,
Mm-hmm.
my own spiritual powers or my own spiritual awareness of being conscious. And really ever since then, now I just kind of follow what is best versus
Right.
trying to subscribe to what is taught as the traditional way, as to this is how you become enlightened, or this
Mm-hmm.
is how you connect with your true or higher self. When really everybody is different, even though we are all a part of
Exactly.
source and source is a part of us, it's
Mm-hmm.
it's still different how we connect. It's still
Exactly.
different how we connect. Um, but
Yeah, and
this,
2019, 2020 for me, I definitely felt the shift. I almost felt the shift before the shift even came. I
mm,
felt like I knew it was coming, and I walked through a portal during that time. I don't want to talk too much about that because it's a very strange, you know, mystical experience during that time. It was
yeah.
April of 2020. You feel me? And I just could feel the change, and you know, seeing that I feel like I went through my awakening before the mass. I began
Hmm.
my awakening in 2015.
Mm,
During that time, I feel like spirituality is now widespread. I had nobody during that time. There was nobody in 2015 I can like, you know, talk to about spirituality or go to. You know, I went through my journey by myself. And on top of that, on top of going through a spiritual journey, I went vegan during the same time. So now I'm battling removing, you know, what I was taught from, you know, eating meat and eating processed foods. And then on top of going through a spiritual journey at the same time. So I'm just going through double whammies, and I'm experiencing all of this by myself, not being able to,
oof.
you know,
Go
not
ahead.
having nobody. I had no community. There was no vegan shops. There was no slutty vegan. There was none of that. There was no Beyond Meat, no Impossible Meat. There was black beans and sweet potatoes, and I had to make that work. You know, I had to go natural. Like everybody, it's so easy for people now. Like it was not that easy for me. You feel me? I had many many frustrating nights, man.
Man,
Many
man.
frustrating nights.
2015, 2015.
2015, I was a sophomore in college.
Man, man,
I started
2015.
going vegan in 2013.
Man, you were so I would say when it comes to this new wave of spiritual awareness, you doing this back in 2013, 2015 even.
Yeah.
You, I mean, you technically like a pioneer when it comes down to it.
And I feel like that's what I was meant to be. You know,
Mhm.
I feel like Spirit, God, you know, put me in that position to go through those trials and tribulations by myself, to be the, you
Mhm.
know, to do what I'm doing now, like being that voice for people who feel like they are alone, or feel like they can't do it, or feel like they have no options. You know, I'm giving the world and giving my community and giving my followers what I wish I had during my time, because I just had to suck it up and figure it out, and and just go through it. I didn't had the thoughts of the suicidal thoughts, the depression, the anxiety, the paranoia. I went through all of that by myself, and I prospered by myself, just so I can pass it on to other people. The same thing with my juicing. I went through that juicing experience. I've been experimenting for 4 years. I saw what it did for myself. I saw it get rid of my eczema. I saw it I saw it fix my joints. I used to wake up in extreme pain, being overweight, being 250 pounds, and I seen it drop me all the way down to now 170. So being that I went through that experience and I saw how what it was doing for me. I'm like, man, I gotta get this to the community. I gotta share this out. At first I was just giving it away, and then when I started selling it, I was cheating myself, because I'm like, I really wanted people to get on the juicing way. I really wanted people to, I got tired of seeing and hearing our people dying from diseases that can be cured by just us changing our eating habits, changing what's on our plates, and changing our palate, and reconfiguring our taste buds. I got tired of hearing our people dying of these things. I'm like, I gotta be that voice of reason. I gotta, instead of talking about it, I gotta give some type of results and give some type of product to help us out.
And truthfully, the fact that you were using your experience as a blueprint, you mentioned something that I think that is very paramount. That you went through this by yourself,
Yeah.
going through spiritual, going
Awakening,
through a
warfare.
spiritual awakening by yourself is one of the hardest things you could do, because there's nobody really that you can talk to, because you're in a very vulnerable, transparent state.
Yeah.
Because whatever you are actually experiencing is so new, and really at times it feels kind of bizarre. It makes you feel
Yeah.
crazy,
Exactly.
because
Exactly.
everything you are learning, everything that is being downloaded, goes completely against anything you've learned, have been taught, or seen other people do.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you were going vegan. Man,
Yeah,
that's tough.
man. It was tough, and I went through a good amount of time, like just breaking through those childhood traumas, and and things that that started. See, when you're doing it by yourself, and not even by yourself, like even now, random things just start coming up out of
Hmm.
nowhere. It's almost like you took a plunger and you plunging them drains, or you putting Drano down your sink or down your toilet, and then all that backup stuff start
Hmm.
coming up. So it's
Hmm.
like either you gonna look at it and you're gonna clean it and you're gonna deal with it, or you're gonna keep trying to flush it and it's just gonna keep flowing and keep flowing and keep flowing. I think that's what a lot of people today they're doing. We call it shadow work, and people are avoiding doing the shadow work. People are avoiding, in other words, avoiding themselves, avoiding their own spirits, and avoiding going through the process of healing ourselves. At that point, I had no idea what shadow work meant. I had no idea none of those terminologies was. I was just like, look, I'm tired of being toxic. I'm tired of all these traumas and triggers coming up. I'm tired of being the bad person in the story.
Hmm.
I gotta heal myself. I gotta fix myself, and I gotta stop. I gotta let things go. I gotta stop playing the victim, and I just gotta own up to to what it is, and become a man, become a human, become a soul. You feel me?
Hmm. Hmm. Becoming a soul, becoming a human, and then you become a man.
Yeah.
You start to take on the titles that this world makes you take upon. Not
Right.
saying that being a man or a woman is a bad thing, because we chose this life.
Yeah.
We chose this life before we came back, or
Right.
before we even had a chance to really get involved in what we are now.
Right.
But 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 what but whatever we eat and whatever we put into our bodies is literally fuel. I didn't know that when younger, right? You just eat what you want to eat and kind of do what you want to do.
Right. Right. Right.
And before I went plant based, um, actually, the reason why I did cold turkey vegan was because um, I was dealing with a lot of stress in my job at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I was dealing with high blood pressure, bad. I was overweight. I had sleep apnea, just a whole nine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was it was on a Saturday. My mom, she got admitted to the hospital, and she had a blood clot in her leg,
Mm.
and the doctors were able to save her in time. But if they didn't get that, they would have had to cut off her leg.
Right.
And really, at that time, me and my mom, we weren't the closest. So that really struck a chord in me. And then also, me being a new father, I wanted to make sure that I was around for my child.
So,
Because the last thing I want is the last memory of for my daughter is to know that, well, my daddy died before he could raise me, and she's
yeah.
going through life looking for a father.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I just completely changed everything. It cleared up my allergies. It cleared up my blood pressure, my high
Yeah.
cholesterol. It cleared up. It cleared up my skin. It didn't help my
Yeah.
hair. Now this, I didn't, you know what I'm
Hey,
saying? It didn't help my
I
hair.
can help you with that. I can help you
Hey,
with that. We're gonna talk
hey,
about that.
please, man. I miss. You know what I'm saying? I miss my ways, bro.
Hey man, I
But
got you. Definitely. We're gonna talk
but
about that.
um but everything else, like, it definitely changed. and
Mm-hmm.
and and now, being more conscious and being more like aware of who I am and what I need, I'm very selective in what I eat now. I'm very intentional.
Mm-hmm.
And and that and that goes into everything. Like, if I eat something that I know that I should not eat, I I feel like I'm doing my body a disservice. I
Ah,
actually feel bad if I eat something
yeah.
that I know that I shouldn't eat. Not
Right.
not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. Like, I'm disrespecting my temple. I'm
Mm-hmm.
dis I am not dis well, I'm not showing myself enough respect.
Right. Right.
And I think for a lot of people, they don't translate the two. If I just eat whatever I want to eat, then this means that I'm not showing myself that type of respect that I need. So I can't show another person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. If you don't respect your own body, how you gonna respect somebody else's?
You can't.
You feel me?
You
Right.
can't.
And food is our entertainment and not our and food is our medicine and not our entertainment. That's one of my favorite quotes as well. We treat food as entertainment. That's really what food is nowadays. We see the hashtag food porn, all these different things on social medias. It looks good. It looks
Mm-hmm.
good. But one thing I learned that they hide witchcraft through food. Everything that tastes good ain't good for us. Everything that tastes good is not good for us. You feel me? And like you said, I like when you said you treat your body like a temple, because that's exactly what it is. This is our house. We have to live in this body for about 85 plus years. If we're blessed, um, we treat our body as if it is a sewer system, or it is, or if it's a trash can,
Mm-hmm.
constantly polluting the body, and then we get
Mm-hmm.
upset with ourselves when we're sick, when we're not feeding our bodies what it needs to fight.
Right.
It's like not being able to fight, and then you literally go into a fist fight, but you don't know how to fight, and
Yeah.
then get upset that you got beat up. Well, did you prepare for this fight? Did
Nah.
you go take classes? Did you go take boxing classes, kickboxing? Did your mama teach you
Nah.
how to fight? So we're not putting anything in our bodies to allow it to fight. So we're backing up our lymphatic system. We're diluting we're breaking down our immune system. We're tainting our blood. And once our blood is tainted, even as a man, once our blood is tainted, our whole body is tainted, because
Mm-hmm.
then it taints our endocrine system, our reproductive system, our nervous system, our
Mm-hmm.
brain, our heart. It just start knocking you down one by one.
Mm-hmm.
It start knocking down, going to each system. There's a anime show on Netflix called Cells at Work that I recommend you and
Yeah, that's a good one.
to go watch that, and that really breaks down the body and puts different perceptions on. Every cell in our body has a brain. Every cell in our body goes to the bathroom. I learned that from Yaki. So let me quote Yaki. Not that he expanded on it,
Mm-hmm.
but every cell in our body is a person. So it's like, what are you feeding the community in your body?
Mm.
What are we feeding these people? Like, these cells in our bodies have families. The cells in our bodies have children. The cells in our body have diseases, or the cells in our body, they eat. They do all these things. Everything that we do, the cells in our bodies do as well. There are communities inside our body, just like there are different communities out in the world. We don't
Mm-hmm.
realize that we are all cells. We are all the same individuals doing jobs in different parts of the body. We're
Mm-hmm.
inside of a larger body. So the same way we're tainting earth is the same way we're tainting our bodies. It's just all about, we're all just tainting. So we've got to put
Mm-hmm.
the right things in our body, especially when it comes to water. And the real water, because we don't know that H2O is not even really the real water. The real water is H3O2, which comes from fruit and vegetables and breast milk.
Mm.
So are
I
we
wasn't ready for
preparing our
this.
bodies to fight? Are we preparing our bodies for this war? Are we preparing our bodies for the food
Mm.
war, for the food famine? Are we preparing our bodies for the spiritual war? Because you can't communicate with God if your body is tainted. The connection is going to be dial up. You're not going to be able
Mm.
to get through if your body is tainted. You can't get through if your hair is tainted.
We need fiber.
It's not going to be there. You're going to have one bar. You realize
Mm.
you can't get connection, but you only got one bar. You got to clean that body up. The more you clean your body up, the more connection, the more bars you're gonna get in your, the more cellular data you're gonna get in your body.
Mm,
That's how we
mm,
get connected. That's why the monks and the Buddhists and all them, they and the Hindus, they meditate and they fast because that connects them more to the divine.
mhm, mhm. I
It's a
know.
great,
I know. Learning about fasting was very key in my journey. And just like you said, you made a top tier comparison that if we do not properly fuel our body, we're on dial up
yeah,
when we need fiber. Technically, we need more than that. But if we do not properly fuel our body, we cannot prepare ourselves for the day. We cannot prepare ourselves for the right connection with other
yeah,
people. We
right,
cannot prepare ourselves to the right connection to the divine.
right.
And then we will be missing out on the blessings that are supposed to overflow into our life. We cannot live in the law
Mhm.
of abundance if we are thriving in the law of lack.
Yeah,
And people have really shown me, just like you said, food porn. When I see this stuff online, like before, this stuff used to look, I mean, mouth water. I'm like, bro, I need to make that today.
yeah,
I'm going out to the
yeah.
store. I'm making this and that. But now when I look at it, like now it just makes me
Don't
sick.
look the same, right? Don't look
Like
the
it
same, man.
makes me sick that people truthfully feel
Yeah,
that this is okay, but it's just pure gluttony.
yeah. That's all
And
it is.
and and I know now, like even my circle of friends, my family, they are now on this more like food, like awakening tip. Not so much the spiritual as much,
Yeah.
but when it comes to the food, they are taking more care of their bodies.
Hmm.
But but for I know for some people that's where it starts. You have to
Yeah.
surround yourself with people that are going in a similar direction, not just the same, but just
Hmm.
similar. And that's going to help you understand yourself, them, and other people more, so you
Exactly.
can properly not only build up these boundaries, but also be able to communicate what you need. So, man, I was just coming with some basic knowledge tonight, man, and now
I,
I
I
got to
want
get
to,
in
I
my
want
bag.
I wanted to go back to when you said you want to be here for your daughter. You know, that's
Yeah.
one of the reasons why I went plant based.
Mm,
It was because of my current health in 2011, 2012. Before I
mm,
went to college, I had no control of what I was bringing to the house because I was staying with my mom. So I
mm,
couldn't, she was still bringing in the pork chops and all that, So it was very hard for me to get the weight off and change my lifestyle. I've
mm.
been trying to lose weight because at first it really began off just losing weight. That was
Yeah.
the first thing, and I think that's what everybody's mindset is. When my supporters and my customers hit me up, the first thing they say is, "I want to lose some weight." So
Mm,
I would tell them like, okay, well, we got to go about this a whole different way. Because if you just want to go about just losing weight, you're gonna fall into the same trap as everybody else. You're gonna see the results and you're gonna go back, you're gonna gain 3 times, 4 times more. So it needs to be more than about just losing weight. It needs to be about your overall health in general.
yep.
And just changing the way the way we see food and the way we ingest food. So
Hmm.
when you said you want to be here for your daughter, that's the reason why I wanted to go vegan because I got tired of seeing medicine cabinets in our household just full of pills.
Yeah.
A lot of us have it. A lot of our relatives, our elders, and our parents have a cabinet like my people have it over the stove. So
Hmm.
where we cook at the food, the food that's creating this, we putting the pills over the stove that's creating the foods, that's making us ingest these pills. So you got it hand in hand with each other. So right here is where you're cooking the bad food, the beef, the pork, and all that. Then you go and reach up top and then grab seasoning and then grab your pill at the same time. I didn't want to be 85 years old with my back hunch, and I can't breathe. I'm on dialysis. I'm in
Hmm.
and out the hospital. That's not what I want. We don't know that it's not about the now. The present is the future. The future is the present and the
Hmm.
past. Time happens simultaneously.
Yep.
You feel me? So I'm eating for me at 90 years old. Because I seen my great grandpa. Every time I saw him, he had a watermelon in his mouth or he
Hmm.
was in his garden. So he died healthy at 85, 86. They say it was natural causes. It was just his time. You feel
Yeah.
me? He went on walks every day, and I'm like, okay, I want to live like my great grandfather because I'm seeing how he eat fresh string beans,
Hmm.
eggplant, bell pepper. That's what I'm seeing an 85-year-old man eat. Still communicating effectively, still got a full head of hair. Still look healthy. He's not frail. I'm like, that's how I want to live. So I'm like, I gotta change the way I eat. It's not about the now. It's not about now. It's about preparing the future and my descendants after me.
Mm. When you talk about time, you made a good point that time is happening all at the same time right now.
Right.
And at first, this was something that was very hard for me to understand
Yeah.
because we are taught that the past is physically behind us,
Mm-hmm.
and the future is physically in front of us. That was the best way they could represent that the present is now, but
Mm-hmm.
the moment is always evolving and changing.
Yeah.
So, so once I started to understand that time was happening um, simultaneously, that helped me see more that I need to be more intentional with my decisions, especially
Mm-hmm.
as a man. Because
Fact.
if I want to be a protector, if I want to be a provider, if I want to be one that holds space and place for the people in my life, then
Mm-hmm.
I need to know what I'm doing with my moves.
Exactly.
I need to make sure that I am not necessarily vibing in the right direction, but just simply moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
Because if I want someone to be with me, if I want to be with someone, if I just want to be an example to my daughter,
Exactly.
I need to be a person that she sees that is at the top of the people that she encounters. I have to be that example.
Right.
And now when I make any type of decision, I do it with so much intention. But I know in the past I was always hesitant to make certain choices
Yeah.
because I couldn't see the future. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know what's happening tomorrow. So if I do something today, it could be a ripple effect and it could mess up tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But when I started to see time happening all now, I need to make the best decision because now is the time for the future
Yeah.
versus let me wait to do this in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Because you never know, just like you said, that um, that when it comes to how we eat, we want to make sure that we live a long life and we die of natural causes,
Yeah.
living into our 80s, into our 90s,
Yeah.
but being mobile, being able to do on our own, think on our own. And when I encounter these older people, I mean, even in their 50s, and they are just struggling with technology,
Yeah.
struggling to move to one place to another on canes and
Yeah.
walkers
Yeah.
and
And it's all
respirators.
deficiencies, man. It's all deficiencies. We're all walking around with vitamin and mineral deficiencies.
Mm,
Because a lot of
mm,
these foods that are overcooked, these fried foods, all these things, we're eating dead foods that has
mhm.
no mineral, no nutrients inside of it.
Yeah.
We're not putting any vitamin K, vitamin P, A, E. We're not doing any of that. So if
Mm,
you're not giving the body like I said before, if you're not giving the body the tools that it needs to fight, it's gonna start breaking down. It's gonna start rusting. It's gonna start slowing down the process. And now I just saw 3333. Now people are getting these diseases, kidney disease, liver diseases in their 20s. We're in our 20s with kidney and liver disease, with catching
mm,
heart attacks
mhm.
in our 20s, man. These are things that people were getting in their 50s, in their 60s. We're
Mhm.
breaking down faster now because the food is becoming more processed. I'm not gonna say I have not eaten Beyond Meat and Impossible Meat because I am overall, like I say, I believe in just everything is balance, everything is moderation, and I'm a foodie, so I try different foods because I want to
Mhm.
teach people, not just trying to jump people straight into be alkaline. Because
Mhm.
that's not what I did. I didn't just jump into alkaline. I broke things down. Like I had to
Well, that's a
slowly
good
wean
conversation right there.
myself off of stuff and try different things and
Mhm.
slowly start leaving things alone. Like even now, like I stopped eating fries sometimes, like or I would stop eating rice, or I stopped eating gluten. Certain things like I just slowly break myself out of. I didn't just jump right into it. So
Mhm.
even with that Beyond and Impossible, all that all that estrogen and soy and wheat, all those things is also breaking down our bodies. They're not really that good for us. So I say we got to do that in moderation as well. But we got to do this as natural as possible. I had some
Mhm.
people ask me, what's a good? They asked me what's a good alternative to juices on the shelf, because I did a TikTok video and they were asking me like, well, okay, well we can't drink this, and what do we drink or what do we consume? I'm like, a fresh apple, some strawberries, some grapes. The real stuff. This says artificial
I
grapes.
don't like that.
Go get the
I
real
got to
grapes.
work for it.
Right. You got to work, but that's all it's about. We're going into a world where we need conveniency, and anything that's inconvenient, we're gonna exit out. We're moving to the world is getting faster and faster, faster and faster and faster. So it needs people like me to make the juices for people because
Hmm.
a lot of people say I don't want to do it myself, just do it for me. Cool, that's cool, but we got to learn how to do it for ourselves as well because as we see right now, we're in the food shortage. You know,
Hmm.
so we
Hmm.
gotta learn how to grow our own foods and create our own foods and juice our own foods and all. You know, we gotta go back to the natural, man. We being forced into the natural, and we don't even see that. Like people say, "Oh, I want Jesus to come back. I'm waiting for God to come back." They've been here. 2019, 2020. That was the shift. Like that was that Christ consciousness. That was that opening. That was that
Yep.
portal opening. It was
Hmm.
here. People say I
Yep.
want to spend more time with my kids, but COVID allowed you to do that, and now you don't want to spend time with the kids. Now the kids get on your nerves. You want to send the kids home. But this is what we asked for. We asked for time
Yep.
off of work, and we got time off of work, and we upset that we got time off of work. Not only did we get time off of work, but we got paid for not being at work. We got
Hmm.
stimulus checks. People got unemployment. That shift came and it really opened up to the people that's around us. And do we really want to lead the matrix? Do we really want to lead the system? Do we want to better ourselves? Because they gave us 2 years to do that, and a lot of people took advantage of it. We had 2 years to do self work. We had 2 years to get ourselves together. We had 2 years to get back into alignment. Some
Hmm.
people went through it, and some people knew the ship was coming and did the work, and some people still ignored the whole work.
Hmm. That is a good point. That when COVID happened, and I am not saying that. Well, COVID was different for everybody.
It was
COVID
definitely
wasn't,
different for everybody.
COVID was not the same for everybody.
Right, right, right.
I mean, there were a lot of people that lost their lives due to this thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to diminish that at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
But I truthfully will say that this was something that if you were still alive and you had a chance to see this through,
Mm-hmm.
this really showed you a mirror because we live in a mirror world. We
Exactly.
live in a microwave world.
Definitely reflective.
Like everybody wants things fast and everybody wants to look good while things are happening fast.
Mm-hmm.
And this slowed everything down.
Yeah.
And this showed you that if you don't have your business together, then this is the time to make it work.
Yeah.
Now, me, I was still considered an essential worker, but I still was able to slow down and focus on what made me happy, what
Mm-hmm.
I needed to do. And during that time, that's when the floodgates opened for me. That's when I knew like I'm going batshit crazy. I already
Yeah.
know this because it really happened in 2017, but in 2018 when I had my daughter, that's when I really changed. In 2019, that's when all of it changed, and I knew
Yeah.
like, so there's something happening. There's something big
Mm-hmm.
happening. I don't know what it is, but I want to make sure that I'm catching this energy because I'm receiving downloads like
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I am feeling as though that I'm a portal for other people, or
Mm-hmm.
something is speaking through me.
Yeah.
So when I started to tap into my own spiritual powers, that's when I knew that I was failing myself, not only as a human, but especially as a man, especially as
Yeah.
a father. And and people, they don't want to do a lot of shadow work because shadow work isn't pretty. Because
Mm-hmm.
when you gotta face yourself and face that ugly truth, and face the truth that you were actually a part of the problem that
Mm-hmm.
caused the pain in your life,
Mm-hmm.
that's a tough pill to
When it's when it
swallow.
when it's time to stop saying, or because my mama did this or my dad did this or I was raised this way and voodoo, and now it's
Yeah.
time to be like, okay, well, how are we going to heal from this and how are we going to fix this? So now you got to stop pointing the finger at other people and now it's time to point the finger this way. People act like their hand broke. They don't want to point the finger back at themselves. As soon as they start seeing that mirror, they're gonna crack that mirror real fast so they can't see
Yeah.
themselves. That's the world we're getting in. But a lot of people, and especially our people, I'm starting to see that we are really doing the work. And people are
Mhm.
wanting to do the work. People are looking for somebody to help them do the work and
Yeah.
comprehend and understand on how to better ourselves. I love the shift that we in. I've definitely seen a lot of growth in our people and all of us in general since 2015. I've seen
Mhm.
extreme growth from all of
Mhm.
us, and I love it. Like we're definitely opening up and becoming more aware very quickly.
Like a lot of the groups that were about spiritual awareness and enlightenment, and all these things, they really started to pop off going into 2017 and 18.
Yeah.
But now, this is becoming more of the normal. People are
Hmm.
becoming more aware of themselves and the power that they have, and
Yeah.
that I can control everything in my life because I can control my destiny because I created all this.
Exactly.
I created this environment that's in front of me.
We are the
I literally
director.
created this opportunity that is giving me the opportunity that I want to have.
Right.
And when I started to understand that, a lot of the things that I struggled with, they just fell off, fell completely off.
Yeah.
And a lot of things started to fall into place. A lot of things started to fall into alignment. And that's when I wanted to start, well, not wanted to, but that's when I started to move in the direction of starting my own business,
Hmm.
becoming a life coach, becoming a spiritual life coach. And as I grow with different certifications and as I grow to understand people more, it's helping me grow, and it's
Yeah.
helping me see that not everybody
Exactly.
starts, of course, where you start, and not
Hmm.
everybody starts at the top or the middle. A lot of people
Hmm.
sometimes have to start off at the bottom because you have to see, well, you first have to unlearn what has caused you to become deficient in your own education.
Right.
And now it just really helps me see how important having a morning ritual is, or having a
Yeah.
daily ritual, how you talk
Setting
to yourself.
intentions. Yeah.
And man, I was talking to my lady last night. We were talking about the inner voice, about how important that is to have a positive inner voice, because literally you are talking to the universe
Hmm.
inside of you.
Hmm.
And just like you said, every cell inside of your body is a person that is doing their own thing, but as a collective. And how you talk to yourself moves you in a in a completely different direction depending on how you talk to yourself.
Yes.
And once I started to learn how important it is to treat myself with the same love and respect and kindness and truth that I am trying to teach other people or talk to other people, it
Hmm.
helps me see, like, I am always a client of me, but I am also my own counselor.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
when, it's late at night, 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and it's just me up at night, I can't, there's nobody to call. Or
Hmm.
if it's during the day where I can't talk to anybody, there's just nobody that I can text real quick to give me my answer. I have
Hmm.
to I have to help me first.
Yeah.
But that starts with the shadow work. That starts with doing that inner work. And truthfully just understanding, well, shoot is definitely overstanding what you have to do on this journey. Because when you are walking on the path to enlightenment, right, you are going to see everything that you've done in your life, and your life literally flashes before your eyes, and you
Yeah,
have to
man.
piece like, I
Everything, man.
made that decision, and damn, that hurt. That hurt this person, or that
Yeah.
hurt that person,
Hmm.
or that really just hurt me.
Man,
So
have you making random phone calls apologizing to people, and they're like,
yeah,
"I ain't worried about that." I'm like, "Yeah, you may not be worried about it." I said, "But this is a part of my
mm,
growth. Like, I gotta, I had to
yeah,
apologize to you in order for my body, my spirit to move on from this because it's tearing
gotcha.
me up in the inside. You might not care, but I'm being tore
Hmm.
up in the inside because I knew I wasn't right for this, and I knew that I wouldn't want somebody to do to me what I did to you.
Yeah,
So it's all
yeah,
about self assessment, man. Like you said, I like when you say that, you got to talk to yourself because a
hmm,
lot of our people that come before us, me growing up, I would hear like, matter of fact, I just heard it yesterday that talking to yourself is crazy. Or they'd be like, "Yo, you answer yourself?" I'm like, "Yeah, I answer myself." "Oh, you got to be crazy." I said, "How?" I said, you know how many times, me talking to myself, then
yeah,
stop me from making the decision I didn't need to make, stop me from going to
yeah,
link up, with a sneaky link late at night, something that is not, just simple things
yeah,
like that
yeah,
stop me
making
from
a
doing
bad
something
decision.
I have
Yeah,
no business doing because we
yeah,
have that, television, cartoons, and all that always produce. It's spirituality has always been here. We just
mhm,
never knew what it was. Every time we watched cartoons as a kid, we saw the devil on the shoulder, and then we saw the white bean on the left side. We saw the devil on the red on the right side. You feel me? That's your voices, and a
mhm,
lot of us only hear that red voice. A lot of us only
mhm,
hear that voice that tells us to do something bad. We don't hear that other voice. It goes to the point where when your body gets so tainted to where that white voice just start to diminish. It start getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller to where it's just completely gone. To where you don't hear
mhm,
it's on mute. And all you hear is that red voice. Now all you hear is that voice that's telling you to do toxic things, or telling you to go make decisions that you know that's going to hinder your journey, hinder your process.
mhm, mhm.
So
And
I feel like we gotta talk to ourselves.
and that's and that's one thing that I learned on this journey when I was on my path to uh, enlightenment, because I really thought that it was a destination. but
Yeah.
that's actually the journey. There's
Hmm.
several. There's several. I mean, you will always be.
Always be journeying. Even when we
Always,
leave this vessel, we're gonna go on the journey to the next
you
journey.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know.
Definitely as men, but I'll say as black people, but I would say really as black men, being able to have that conversation with yourself and being able to be transparent and vulnerable is something that we were not taught how to do.
Not at all.
Because being being a man, we are taught to be stoic, right?
Hmm.
Just very reserved, all
Hmm.
about the action.
Yeah.
Don't really talk about nothing, just get straight to it.
Right.
But really on the inside, we got all this unbalanced feminine energy going
Hmm.
crazy in our body.
Yeah.
And then when we can't understand what's happening, we we make stupid decisions or
Hmm.
we become very addicted. That's why men are able, well, not able, but that's why men are actually more likely to be addicts than women because men crave that feminine energy because one, they don't understand it, and two,
Hmm.
that's just a part of us being here.
Yeah.
And things from drugs, from porn, from being gluttons
Yeah.
to alcohol. These are all things that satisfy the body, which internally is the feminine energy.
Yeah.
And when
It's
I'm
all signs of feminine energy deficiency is what I call it. Our
ah,
feminine energy is
that's a
deficient.
good way to put it.
And our I just posted earlier today that we cannot truly heal if us as men and us as black men do not comprehend and understand what the feminine energy is. See, we go outside and try to connect with feminine energy through the actual woman.
Hmm.
When we were created by a woman who we sat inside of for 9 months and who we were nursed by for at least 6 to 8 months if we were breastfed. You feel me? You know, the heart is a feminine energy. So
Mm,
if you can't understand the feminine, you are never going to attach yourself to your heart. You're never going to connect to your heart.
never.
So you're gonna be moving with our reproductive system, or we're
Hmm.
gonna be moving with our head. And if that's tainted,
Mm,
we didn't taint our whole system, our whole body.
mm,
We gotta,
mm,
in order for us to connect with our heart, you gotta connect with the feminine energy. You gotta understand the feminine parts of ourselves. And we think that because we're men that we don't have any feminine energy,
mm,
and that's
hmm.
what causes us problems.
Hmm. Hmm. That's why men die from stress and die so much faster than women because we keep so much bottled up inside because
Right.
we feel and we become very comfortable with not leaning into this energy when
Hmm.
knowing good and well it's going to make you feel good. That's the way to
Right.
go. And when I started to understand that, it changed everything. But the most impactful thing, it helped me become a better father.
Yeah.
I started to understand that I need to balance my own feminine to raise this child because
Hmm.
children need that kindness, that softness, that tenderness.
Yeah.
And boy or girl, it doesn't matter. Children need
Hmm.
that. And
Yeah.
when I realized that I was uncomfortable giving this love to my child, I knew there was a problem
Hmm. Right.
because I could not give that love to me. I could
Hmm.
not give that love to my inner child.
Yeah.
And when I started to parent that inner child, it became second nature to give my child exactly what she needed. Now I don't always understand what she needs,
Right.
and she gonna do her own thing.
Yeah.
But I know now, like the time that it takes and how important it is because pouring into this child, I'm pouring back into me,
Hmm.
and
Fact.
and and growing up as because I have three older sisters and I'm the youngest, right? I'm the only boy, and I know now when it comes to it's like if I don't listen to what's going on within me, it makes it extremely difficult to hear anything she's saying. And you said something very important
Fact.
that men, if you don't understand the feminine, then you cannot understand a woman. So when a woman is becoming very emotional, when she's becoming sensitive, or when she needs this reassurance, if
Hmm.
we aren't giving that to ourselves, that looks foreign, you know.
Yeah.
And like I think that men really treat certain women like just feminine men. If I'm really being honest, like you good, you can fix it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Just hey man, don't
Yeah.
worry about it. You all right.
Yeah.
When really, like, that's definitely not the case. You can't do that.
They definitely all emotion. And like I said, and then to add on top of that, to add on not being able to understand a woman if you don't connect to the feminine energy. So you're not going to be able to understand a woman. You're not going to be able to understand children. You're not going to understand yourself. You're not going to be able to tap into your heart. It's just so many things that you're not going to be able, be able to do. You can't connect to nature because
Mm-hmm.
nature is woman. So now you can't even ground yourself because you don't want to connect to woman when nature is woman, the womb. So there's many different forms of the womb, and as men, we disconnect ourselves from many different perceptions of the womb. If we keep
Mm-hmm.
disconnecting ourselves to these many different perceptions of the womb, all we're doing is disconnecting ourselves.
Mm.
So I wanted to go back a little bit because that when you said what did you say? Shoot, I done lost it. We talking so much, but I wanted to say it's imperative for men to juice because women have a menstrual cycle every month. They have a
Mm-hmm.
portion of time where they get rid of their toxins. They have the point in time where they actually detox and their body say, okay, it's time for us to sit down, for us to, get rid of these juices and backed up fluids inside our system. Men, we don't have that. We actually got to go in ourselves, get on our knees, open up that oven, and actually scrub ourselves. We got to get that Brillo pad and that oven cleaner and do it
Yeah,
ourselves. We got to
yeah.
actually do the work. Like our body is the hoopty. Right now, like all of us dealing with a 1965 Mustang, you feel me? You got to go in and do that work. You got to go in. You got to let that car sit a little bit before you start it up. So you gotta go in and do the work
I'm gonna
yourself.
go with a 69, but the 65 cool, but I'm gonna go with a 69.
I
Yeah, I'm going with a 69 Mustang, bro. That fastback, but that shit is
got
that
you.
you,
So it's like
you know what? You know what? Like it is so interesting that you say that the menstrual cycle, the moon cycle is what women go through and that helps cleanse their body. That's something that I know that I've been trying to find.
yeah,
Like, what type of cycle do men go through? Not like that, but how do men remove the excess and the toxins from their body on a regular basis? Just like how the woman has a consistent cycle with her body.
right,
But now this is leads me back to one of the reasons why I wanted you here to talk about how to detoxify the body and
yeah,
how important that is. And you mentioned that it's essential for men to juice because it seems as like really the only way that we are going to get through and just remove these things from our body is
yeah,
literally like you said, we just got to get in the trenches.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We just got to get dirty with it, and
You got to do the work.
that's just a part of the work. That's
And
just
all
part
you
of
need is once or twice a month, man. That's all we need. Once or twice a month, just to sit down and to just do the work. Go plant based for a little minute, or juice for a couple of days. Do a 3 or 6 day cleanse. Do a 6 day cleanse once a month, or do 2 3 day cleanses twice. Do 2 3 day cleanses once a month. Because we got to, like I said, we got to go in and we have to do the work ourselves. We got to flush it ourselves. We don't have that glory of, and there's women who say, I don't want a period. But it's like, you're so blessed to have that. You're so blessed to have a moon cycle because you can see it in men. The fact that all these toxins sit inside of us,
it. Yeah.
urinating is not enough. Sweating is not enough. But we need the juice and we got to move our bodies. I love that, men are very high in working out and exercise, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
little bit more than that than we have to do. So
Mm-hmm.
juicing definitely is that, it's that moment to where when you shut down the digestive system for some time, because we've been taught that we have to constantly put something in our bodies every 30 minutes, every hour. And, they say eat 6 times a day and all that, which is
That's
cool.
crazy.
Right. So, but juicing is not a meal replacer. And so that's one thing I definitely want to say because a lot of people ask me, is it a meal replacer? No, it's not a meal replacer. It's more of a multivitamin. It's more of your energetic pill,
Mm-hmm.
your
Mm-hmm.
cleanser. Like this is what we do just to cleanse. It's not something you want to do for an extreme amount of time. That there are people who made juice and fast for 6 months or 3 to 6 months. There are people who've done that. The most I've done is 40 days. I've done it. No, I've done a 40-day raw fast, but the most I've done is 15 days of juicing. I don't really feel like you need that. You need that much. 15 days. But see, and after you juice for about maybe 9 days, around day 9, but really for me, around day 7 is when it was just like it became a regimen. I'm just like, okay, just drinking juice. My
Yeah.
body stopped getting hungry. My body just
Mm-hmm.
started craving juice and craving water, craving coconut water, craving herbal teas.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to go through that time of shutting our body down, putting it, letting our digestive system rest. It's like having a computer that you just have on all the time. You got all these applications on. You got Windows Media Player on. You got all these apps on, and you're never closing it. But you're wondering why your system is running slow. You're wondering why you're stressed. You're wondering why you're irritable. You're wondering why you're going off on people at the red light. You're wondering why you can't connect to your kids. It's because we're not letting our digestive system rest. We're not, letting things flow right. So when we go through a juice cleanse and we let that digestive system rest, and you
Mm-hmm.
completely like put it to sleep, and you start juicing, you're allowing the juice, the nutrients, the minerals. You let the vitamin A, B's, the C, the D,
Mm,
the K, your manganese, your magnesium, your iron, your zinc. All of that is going directly into your digestive system. It's going directly into your bloodstream. It's like taking a needle and injecting it and just putting it straight into your blood. That's what
mm,
we're doing. So it immediately goes in and starts doing cellular restoration. That's the whole part of juicing. It's just you want to revitalize your cells. We want to nourish your cells, and we want to completely get rid of all the dead waste to create new cells.
right,
It's the whole
right.
process of it. We want to completely just put our body to rest to allow our bodies to reawaken. As
Mm-hmm.
if, as if how we sleep, we need to allow our digestive system to be like, take some rest. Like take 3 days and rest, get some sleep, and come back so we can start this all over again.
Right, right, right.
It's
And
very
and
important.
and I know even for me now, like I know lately I have gotten off of my normal regimen
Mhm.
of like what I eat and how late I eat and how much I eat.
Yeah,
But I know when I don't eat late at night or when I don't eat past a certain time, regardless of what it is, it could be just a snack or something. But if I don't eat past a certain time, that 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 helps me sleep deeper, and
right.
that also helps me wake up more rejuvenated.
Refresh. Yeah, 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 yeah.
And I know like now like eating as much, I don't like eating as much. I don't like eating breakfast as much, but I want to have something in my body, like where there's some type of, like, I would prefer something lighter, like
Yeah, yeah.
juice versus
Right.
something heavy. And um and I know when I was doing the cleanse, when I did the 9 day, um it was day three, boy, I was screaming. I'm like, get me off this,
Yeah.
man. But it was going into about day six, day seven. That's when it really started to feel like, okay, like I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I really started to see the difference in not only physically but spiritually. It
Yeah.
actually became a lot
Okay.
easier to grasp onto things that at first I couldn't understand spiritually, or
Mm-hmm.
things that I couldn't hear spiritually. And now I see myself kind of slipping back into where I'm not hearing as much spirit. Well, I mean, like I am, but I want to hear more. I want to go
Yeah.
farther.
Mm-hmm.
So like I know now I hear more and definitely understand more than what I did before. But now I want to go further. I want to go even farther down the rabbit hole.
So I want to
Now,
ask you a off-topic question. Well, it's on topic, but it's off-topic. But
yeah,
how do you feel about psychedelics?
listen,
Man.
listen, man. I okay. I would say this, right? I would say when it comes to psychedelics, they hit harder when your body is clean.
Mm,
They hit harder when your body is clean. The reason
man.
why I say that is because literally, we all know when it comes to our chakra system, that is the spiritual immune system. It
Mm-hmm.
goes directly up the body. The crown is the antenna,
Yeah.
right? I I know for sure that when I was in that space at that time and I was eating clean, my antenna was picking up things that I knew for sure I was not ready for.
Yeah.
And then even when I ventured away from them and I put it off and I was like, okay, I'm just going to focus on my own spiritual journey, I was still picking up more things
Mm-hmm.
from my journey during the time I was on psychedelics. So I mean, I I have my own personal views. I'm not gonna get into them right now. We're
Yeah.
gonna chop it
We can,
up,
we, can, we can chop it up about it. We can
you
chop it
know.
up about it. But that
But
definitely was that helped me expand. I did 40-day raw fast and then went into doing psychedelics. Man, it's a whole
wait, you did
different
what?
experience. Huh?
You did a you did a you did a what?
A 40-day raw fast. I did that during 2020 in the midst of COVID. That was
Oh
a that was a that was an experience. That was
wow.
an experience. It was definitely a whole new awakening. That's what I said, man. It was the 40-day raw fast. I was doing a lot of running during COVID.
Mhm.
Walk through that portal. Like it was just, I'm just like I give thanks to God that I walked through that portal with someone. Like I had someone with me. Like we just randomly walk in the woods. So I'm glad like I had somebody
Really?
with me, so I wouldn't feel like I'm crazy. Because at that point, like if I
Yeah.
didn't have him with me, I was going to admit myself in some hospital or something. Because I'm like, man, this only happen in movies on the sci-fi networks. This don't happen, in, you know. I'm like, what are we living in at that point? So
Yeah.
yeah, that
I was
definitely.
by myself. I was by my I was solo. I was going a little bit crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It
Wait,
was
you was on the psychedelics by yourself?
I did it by
Oh
myself.
yeah, I did mine by myself too, both
Yeah.
times. I did them by
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
By myself.
But like as far as the journey, by myself,
Oh,
man.
I'm sorry. The second time I had somebody with me. First time I did
Man,
it by myself.
man, having a trip sitter,
Yeah.
but I strongly feel when it comes to psychedelics that there is such a healing there is such a healing journey with them.
Yeah.
But they
Definitely.
are abused because people use this
Mm-hmm.
to get away from
Yeah.
the problem. They
Exactly.
they want to get away from the darkness, but really it pulls you into it. So
Mm-hmm.
so you're able to find the light. You're able to find the truth.
Right.
Because if you can walk in darkness and still shine,
Yeah.
ain't nothing that can snuff you.
Exactly.
But
Exactly. And it's all about your intention too. I always go into whatever I do. It's all about intention. Like even if I'm rolling up something, I set intention on everything that I do because, like you
mhm,
said earlier, you know, we are the creators of our experience. We are the directors. We are the producers. We are the creative writers. We're the editors. We're the stage crew. We everything. Like we create this movie for ourselves. So
mhm,
whatever happens in our life, we created it in some
yes.
way, shape, or form. We did it. Nobody else but ourselves, because truly nobody else exists but you.
Mm, mm,
We are all just different earths. Like other
mm.
earths can't influence your earth. You invited that earth into you.
We are all mm, we are all a part of source. We are all a part of
All
the
a part of
all, and
soul.
the all is a part of us.
Yeah.
Like literally,
We're all
and
oneness, man.
and that and that is the journey, and that's why you can see yourself in somebody because you are that somebody. You
Exactly.
are literally within that person.
And I know I'm not the only one that's experiencing this right now, man. Like you know, we've been talking about being reflections and being mirrors,
Mhm,
and you know, I'm every day I told you I wake up and I just talk to God and say like, give me a lesson today. So every
mhm,
day, like in this time frame that we're in now, every conversation that I've been having with somebody has been about me. They don't know it's been about me, but I know that this is about me. You know, so it's like now I got to step back. I'm like, at some points it was like I'm triggered. But I'm like, okay, they don't really mean it because they don't know why they triggering me, but I'm triggered. And this is something that I gotta, you know,
yes.
myself. I could be watching something on TV and I could think it's random, but a lesson and a message about me
Mhm,
is gonna come from that.
yep.
Everybody I've been like, whatever I'm watching, whatever I'm even listening to music. Like I remember
Mhm,
I got a message, I got a reading from somebody, and it said to pay attention to everything that you hear, see, read. It said pay attention to everything. So even songs I was listening to, I would get a hunch when the message is for me. It's like a jump in my gut. To where I
mm,
know that like, this message is for me. Like when somebody says something, they could be like, "Oh, this person they do bad business. Like they don't respond to people." If I feel like I've done that to somebody, and spirit want me to clean that up, I'm gonna get that hunch. Okay, I got to do better with my communication. So it's like these days, like these last 3 years, everything has been like very reflective for me, really for all of us. But I don't know, like everybody don't notice that we're going through very reflective moments right now.
mhm.
Like we're being forced on
Because
that. We're being forced to be our better
mhm,
selves. We're being forced to take the joy and happiness that's owed to us. We've been forced to do a lot of stuff.
the reason why people, and you make a great point, the reason why people, or I feel, people are not able to uh, understand who they are in this reflective world because they're so distracted by what they see and
Hmm.
what they lack.
Right.
They are. We are shown that the cup is half full. Oh, no, half empty.
Have
When
empty.
truly it's half full until we do the work, and then
Mhm.
once we do the work, it's overflowing with abundance.
Right. That's
When I
already
say
ours.
yes,
That's already
yes,
ours that we block ourselves from receiving. It's
and
already ours. It's already here.
once I started to understand that I'm able to give somebody what I need, or I'm able
Mhm.
to give somebody what they need from my overflow, versus just feeling as though I just have to pour and pour and pour into them. That that helped me move so much more.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, like,
Fluently. Right.
oh man, like now it's like, yo, this is what I can give you. This is what I'm able to tell you, and
Hmm.
this is what I have. Take that. Versus, oh, I have to give you all of this because I feel when I was growing up I didn't get this from this person, and because I didn't do that I'm going to get to you. No,
Right.
you gonna get what I give you.
Exactly.
And but also I'm going to show it with love. I'm going to do it from a
Always.
place that is kind. And
Hmm.
once I started to understand that as long as the source and the attention is real, that you can give exactly what you need to give.
Exactly.
Period.
And that's the
Once
message we're in right now
listen,
too.
huh?
That's the message that we're in right now. We have everything that we need to succeed. We have
Mm.
everything that we need.
Oh, actually, we got some comments flowing in. Hold on, let me see. So let's see. We got so yeah, it was they put up Raven great insights. Yep. She's learning so much about juicing. Hey babe. She's talking about he's spitting. She's talking about you, bro. You spitting now. Yeah. Uh
We
talking
both
about
spitting, man. It's great
yeah,
knowledge.
yeah. And then we have Michelle. Okay.
What's up,
She's new.
Michelle?
What's going on?
Well, shout out to everybody that's tuned in right now.
Yeah, man. Definitely. This is a conversation, like I said, everyone that I want to have because I knew that when I had the juice cleanse, I knew that it was coming from someone that was intentional. And once I started to see the truth in what it's like, literally anything that we do, your
Mhm.
energy transfers into that,
Of course.
especially when your body is able to break it down on like the cellular level,
Yeah.
especially food.
Yeah.
So I knew when I had your product, it was a grade A product. That's why even after that,
Good
I
thing.
still stayed in contact because I'm like this dude knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
Because you have like other juicing companies that or people that do juicing, it's like, oh yeah, I do this and that. But it's really just them taking juice that's already made and mixing it together
Yeah.
and throwing
And
it
a
in a
lot of them,
bottle and putting a label on it.
yeah, and a lot of them dilute their juices with water too to make it spread. And that's one thing I don't do. I think that's what sets me different from everybody else is that
Mhm.
I keep my juices completely fresh. If I dilute my juices with anything, you will see the ingredient coconut water, which is not even really a dilution. So
Yeah.
I don't, I try to keep my juices as pure as possible.
hmm So I know like juicing for me is something that I want to get back into. I don't have a juicer.
Hmm.
I just have a Ninja blender.
Okay.
So so any tips to people that want to get into juicing that want to start doing it themselves that don't have a juicer? What are
Okay.
like what is it for beginners?
All right.
What
Well, first, I'm sorry. First, I have a free juicing ebook that they can go and check out on my website, rootscuisine.com.
hmm
There's a free intro to juicing that you can go and just get just some minor details on what it is to be what it is to juice, what's the benefits of it, the history of it, how to go into it. I also have a 3 step of processing that I talk about in the ebook that tells you how to pre-cleanse, how to the initial cleanse and the post cleanse. And I did send that to you, right? Just teach you how to prepare for the juice cleanse
Yeah, you
before,
did. Huh?
yeah, and then the day of, and then how to come off a juice cleanse as well. But you can definitely juice if you just have a blender. So when you're the difference between juicing and smoothies is just the fiber. So juices doesn't have fiber. The smoothies have the fiber. Fiber
hmm
is what helps also cleanse the digestive system. Both of them do, but the fiber is what helps move things through our colon. So when you're when you don't have a juice and all you have is a blender, you're
hmm
doing this. You're just throwing everything in there, adding some water. You want to make it as watery as possible, not too water because you don't want to make it, you don't want to dilute it too much.
Right,
But what you're
right.
doing is you're using the water to help extract the juice. So then
hmm
you just run it through a couple strainers and you want to strain out the pulp and you have juice. It's a little bit more time consuming than what it is from juices, but you definitely can get the same effects from it. You just got to use cheesecloths or use some type of strainers to separate the fiber from the actual juice.
Nah, I'm just gonna get a juicer, man. I ain't trying to do all that.
Yeah, man, you can get you a nice juicer for $100. My
Yeah.
recommendation for a nice juicer, I love Breville, Breville. I guess let me see. I guess I could put that. in the comments. I guess I don't know if it's gonna come up, but I put in the comment Breville juicers. That's what I like. It's cheap. It's a good starter juice, and you want a good juicer that has a trash compactor that also makes it easier. So then the fiber just goes straight into the trash compactor. You take the plastic bag out, throw it away, or use it for compost. Or
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I dehydrate certain parts, or I separate my fruit from my vegetables because I use my vegetables for like to make a broth. For cooking, or I use the fruit fiber. I freeze that, and I can break that up and make smoothies out of that as well. I try
Mm-hmm.
not to waste anything. Um, what else? What was I going by? I feel like I didn't. I was over talking about it. That happens sometimes, man. I lose my train of thought.
Mid thought, like
Mid thought. I just be going to
I was,
talking, man. Forget what the initial reason why I was speaking. I think we were talking about smoothies, right?
yeah.
Creating juices with a
We were
blender.
talking about the juicers, yeah.
Yeah. So the most part, it just takes a little bit more work when you're using a blender.
Mm. I mean, truthfully, like I know, like, well, truthfully, like it's not about the work. Like it's partially about the work, but also too, like if there's a way that I can get the same product
Yeah,
in a more streamlined fashion, then I know for me, a juicer would just be just an automatic thing to go. So,
yeah.
so I know this brand I never heard about. This is definitely something I'm going to look into. Um, so, so like as far as far as like juicing, and I know we talked about, we talked about a lot of stuff, but like as far as like juicing and you getting into your business and stuff like that, like like what's been some of the biggest accomplishments for you? Not like accomplishment, but the things that'll stick with you, like
Um,
you being able to heal and give back, and you're not just healing people, but you're also teaching them. So
yeah.
like, what are some of the things that you've done that that like really stick to?
Um, I think I bring value to everything, to every movement that I make, whether if it's big or small.
Hmm.
Some things I've done I even forget about. So randomly in my mind, I'll be sitting there, my mind be like, "Remember when you did such and such?" I'm like, "Oh shoot, I forgot about that,"
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it brings me happiness because I forget about certain things like that. But I try to be the voice of reason, and I try to just be the person to spread love, joy, happiness, and just put a smile on everybody's face in any way possible. That's just what I wanted, so I just give that back out in return. I've helped the elderly, I've helped the youth, I've helped kids. I had people hit me up say that the doctors couldn't figure out what was going on with their kids, and my juices helped them, rid the sickness within a day. Um, I've had elders say they couldn't walk up the stairs, and after drinking two juices, now she's walking up the stairs as if she's 17 again. So just hearing
mm,
things like that, where it's like hearing that not my products, but that spirit has given me the ability to conjure up. Because that's really what this is a conjuring of something, to conjure up the produce that they put down here for us, and for me to pass it down to others and to see it actually helping people. Like that's what I wanted from the begin with, because I saw what it did for me, and now I see it actually doing it for other people. That
yeah,
brings me joy. I
yeah.
even had and I guess it's an accomplishment, but I've worked with Omarion. I've had Bow Wow try my stuff. I had Rotina Wesley from True Blood try my juices and my food.
Mm,
So and I'm also more than just juices. I do my cuisine, my plant based cuisine too, my
mm,
plant based catering. So I think that's my accomplishment of just seeing that I'm being recognized for my contributes to this journey of this mass journey.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I mean, like I know, like as far as the overall things, like these big accomplishments, like getting with these different stars, these different celebrities, that's like something that people will recognize. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, well, you did this. That's going to draw that, that's going to draw that overall like attention. But what keeps you going is just like you said,
helping the
is
common people, man.
yeah, helping, you know, helping grandma. She can't get
Yeah,
up the stairs,
helping
and
grandma,
she,
helping
yeah, yeah,
helping
like
helping auntie down the street, helping a neighbor. Like
yeah,
that's the common people, the ones that we tend to forget about. A lot of people say, "Oh, you work for the Marion," but I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but I'm helping the community, the ones
yeah.
the forgotten about. That's
Hmm.
what's most valuable for me.
and and this is also just a testament to your character, the fact that that I'm able to do these great things, but what's even greater is helping someone help themselves.
Yeah.
That's the greatest accomplishment, because I am being used by spirit, I am being used by God, I am a
Yeah.
vessel, I am a portal for life,
Hmm.
kindness, and good. So when somebody comes into my life, or when I come into somebody's life, I'm able to build and help them grow.
Yes,
And
I share.
yes, and Raven, she says yes when it comes, like it comes to
Community
community
first.
first. When we are
Yes.
able to put our people first, and
Hmm.
we are able to be of service, that is linking us to our divine purpose, helping us walk in that divine guidance.
Yes, it is.
And it's just something that you just can't put into words. Like sometimes you can be able to describe these things, but most of the time when it's just you by yourself, it's just things you can't even put into words. It's just something that just really, really fills your spirit, man.
Exactly.
So hey man, you a pretty good dude, man. You were
Same, man. We reflections.
yeah,
We
man.
reflections.
For sure, man. But yo, we are coming upon and towards the end of the show, towards an hour,
Man,
and
it don't feel like we've been on here for no hour, man. It don't,
I
it don't even feel like that.
I know, man. But I definitely want to give you back your time for the evening. But before we go, I want you to have the floor is yours. Any closing comments? Anything you want to say before you leave tonight? Anything gems you want to drop upon us?
Man, I appreciate being here, and I know the energy that we're in right now. Whoever's watching, I just will let you know that you are not alone. That whatever you're going through, we've all gone through it. We're going to continue to go through it. Our children are going to go through it. Our ancestors went through it. We're going to constantly keep going through something. We're going to continuously keep entering wombs and leaving out of wombs. So I just say, man, just keep fighting, keep going, reach out to somebody, even if it's a stranger, keep pulling forward. The finish line is right there. The grass is greener on the other side. It's literally right there. So just keep going, keep your heart. Stay focused. Much love. I love you.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Oh,
And
and I am starting a cooking show. I drop cooking videos every now and then on my social media.
mhm,
I am working on getting my YouTube up. Right now, I have my TikTok pages. I have my Instagram pages, which is you can search up Roots Cuisine
mhm.
Instagram ROOTZ underscore cuisine CUISINE. I post a lot of my cooking videos on there, but I'm definitely about to get more consistent with doing my cooking and doing my cooking shows. So y'all just stay up and follow and stay updated with me.
Yeah, man. And it's some things I want to spit. It's some things I want to toss your way, and that's something we're gonna talk about for sure.
Okay, yeah, definitely, definitely.
And and also I like to end the every show with the vision of the week. Uh, I feel as though that when it comes to you moving in purpose or moving with intention, you have to have a vision. It's not just a vision board that you have and you see just when you are actually in front of it. It's something that you put inside your mind to move in that direction. So each time you are encountered with something that is going to try and test you, it helps you. I use this to help me remember that I have a purpose, I have a vision.
Yes,
So even if something comes my way, I'm good because this is my vision.
exactly.
And and um and when I heard this, I thought that this was stupid profound. But confidence is your ability to stand in truth.
Mm,
And when I thought about that it's just that, like, I think about trees in a storm.
yeah,
That you have like a hurricane that's to the highest level. I can't remember exactly what they're called, but when you have like really strong hurricane winds and it's blowing down everything.
yeah. Like
The
a
only thing,
category 4, like just some
yeah,
category 5.
category. Thank
Yeah,
you, category. Right. Um, One of the things that really helps me understand that what keeps us in truth is our confidence because we're rooted in that.
yes.
Funny that, like, when I thought of this quote, I
Rooted in
was
that
like, this is
confidence.
gonna
I
go
like that.
perfect with this, right?
Yeah.
So when I think of my confidence and I'm going through these hard times, I know my truth. I know, like, I know my vision. I know my worth. I know my direction. I know my destination.
Yeah.
And when things come my way, I know that no matter what, I can see it through because I'm going to stand 10 toes down and I'm going to be confident in this no matter what I
Facts, man.
do. And
Facts.
before, I couldn't do that because I didn't have a vision. But
Yeah.
now, my vision is so clear. When I wake up, I see it. When I go
Mm-hmm.
to sleep, I see it. When
Mm-hmm.
I'm at my side hustle, which is still my 9 to 5, I
Yeah,
see.
yeah,
So no matter what, it is always going to be a top priority in my life because this is not only connected to what I want, but this is also connected to the people around me that can benefit.
for
So,
sure, for
so
sure. I want to add one last little thing
yeah,
to add on to both of us, man. I
yeah.
really recommend. I don't know if you've read it, but I recommend The Alchemist. That is one book that we all need to keep in our back pocket.
Hold,
And
hold on,
we read that book three
I got
times.
it. Yep,
You
yep.
got it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got it. Like I haven't read it yet, but I got it, and
I
I've
can't
heard
talk about it
nothing.
yet. I can't talk about it. Yo, y'all gonna see, like, when you read that book, that everything is not by coincidence and everything happens for a reason. Everything is supposed to happen to you. Like,
Right.
that character in that book went through so many trials and tribulations. He had
Mm-hmm.
experienced so much for him. Like, so I'm not gonna go into it too much, but
Mm-hmm.
the book is about him trying to find his personal legend, trying to find his life path. Basically, like, basically what we're going through. He's went on his spiritual journey. He started having these dreams of this treasure. So the whole book, he's trying to find this treasure. There were so many things that he had to experience to find that treasure. He getting robbed, getting beat, getting scammed, walking through deserts, getting stuck in the middle of a war, just
Mm-hmm.
to find out that his treasure was always with him. But he had to go experience and travel all across the world for him to realize that his treasure was already with him the whole time. He's getting his behind beat
Mm-hmm.
and got a message from the person he's getting beat by and realized, oh, I have my treasure already. So that book, like, every time I read it, I'm like, I have everything I need with me right now. It don't matter what I'm going through. It don't matter if my car broke down. It don't matter if I didn't went through a flood and I lost my house. It don't
Mm-hmm.
matter, no matter what. It don't matter if I lost my job.
Mm-hmm.
It all was for a reason. It all was supposed to happen. In general, it's already written. We
Law of
wrote it.
abundance. Law of
We
abundance,
wrote the
man.
script. We should already know what's going to happen because we wrote the script.
Yep, yep.
So that's the message I got from that book, and I'm gonna leave it there.
Man, man, come on, bro. I mean, you just can't say that. And like, well, all right, well, we just gonna leave for the night,
I
and
mean,
I hope y'all have
you
a
gotta
great
read
evening.
the book, man. I don't want to spoil it. You gotta read the book. You gotta, after they read it, they gonna be like, "Yo, I see what he's talking about." 'Cause, like,
Yeah,
that's a guide. Like, that book is a guide. It's a fictional guide, but that's a guide that I keep with me. And whenever I'm feeling low or whenever I forget who I am, because even though I had my journey in 2015, I'm still human. I still go through experiences. I still, come into contact with other low energy beings. I still get drained. Like, just because I'm spiritual, and that's what people don't understand. They think that spiritual people are perfect. We're not perfect. We go through more problems times three than the average because we're more
mhm.
awakened than you.
We are definitely more sensitive, and not in
Inclined.
not
Exactly.
in a weak, but we are just more aware of the things that pass through that
Right,
you
right,
just
right.
don't even acknowledge.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And and actually, this is the third time that I've heard about this book this week. You were the third. So I always look at things in threes.
Yeah.
I
Me
see
too.
things in threes when it's numbers, when it's words, when it's sounds, when it's different events. I always know that this is walking in divine purpose. Like you
Yes.
need to pay attention to this.
Hmm.
So, but you are absolutely right when it comes to being spiritual. People see it's like people try to see spiritual people to be on this pedestal as if like we try to act as though that we are well, not well, I won't say holier than thou, but just like we
No, they
know.
really think that. They really think that of us.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
They really think that of us. And even if we have a moment of vulnerability, and I have, like, people around me, whenever I'm feeling low, it's like they have to make me, like, they have to, like, oh, you're doing this, or you're feeling this way, or you don't have no right. You shouldn't be feeling sad. Why are you crying? Why are you doing this? It's like I'm still human. I'm still assessing. Y'all. People will come to me for help, but it's like sometimes I don't feel like I have other people who I can go to, because if I go to you, you have me on this pedestal as if I'm God, or I'm or as if I think I'm God.
I'm not.
And that stopped me a lot of times. Like, on my TikTok, I have 115,000 followers. My Instagram,
Mhm,
I have almost 14,000. I've
mhm,
stopped, like, my platforms for quite some time because of the pedestal people was putting me on. And I
mm,
started seeing other people, other influencers who were going through the same things, and people putting them on the pedestals as if we're not humans, as if we don't still make mistakes. They
yeah,
think because we're spiritual that means we're no longer making mistakes, that we're perfect and now we're the white light. No, We just are more aware that we're on the journey and we're bettering ourselves and fixing ourselves on a daily basis. That don't mean that I'm not still messing up every now and then.
And literally, we just been put. Well, not we, because I don't have a platform like that. I'm definitely trying to get like you, brother. But as far,
Consistency, man.
yeah, yeah. But like as far as being like an influencer,
Yeah,
it's just that people see you as such a way and a guide because of the overall attention you're getting.
yeah,
But truthfully, it's just like, yo, I'm just doing what I love. And I'm just moving in this, and I'm just moving in this direction. And
yeah,
this is just all that I'm doing. And
yeah,
because of that, everybody's seeing the growth. And I'm not on this pedestal. I'm not
yeah,
here. I'm not
yeah.
there. I am me.
I'm me, and
And
just doing what I'm
that's it.
supposed to do. That's it.
That's it, man.
That's it. And I tell people, man, whatever y'all want to do, man, like go for it. Like don't think about other people's judgment. Don't think about other people's comments, man. Because what I'm doing now, the platform that I have, the content that I make, I've been wanting to do this since 2013. Well, really, as a kid, really,
Yeah.
I always knew my path. I always knew my journey. I always knew who I was. I've been
Mhm.
talking about it and talking and talking. A lot of us do it. Like a lot of us be talking about it, talking about it, talking about it. And I let years go by. Like for me, like having a binder, like this. I had a binder like this of ideas and everything that I wanted to work on since 2013 that I just never did out of fear, out of
Mhm.
like self-sabotaging myself, out of like thinking about, well, what they're gonna say this, they're gonna laugh at me, they're gonna do all this. So for
Yeah.
about 5 years, I sat on
Self
myself,
sabotage.
went self-sabotage,
Mm.
self-infliction. I sabotaged myself for years. And then I was just like, you know what? It was something that happened in 2020. I don't really talk about it much, but my sister was almost murdered. So it was that moment to where I'm like, man, watching her persevere through that, and also just me thinking I can leave any day now. Even with
Mhm.
COVID and the pandemic happened, I'm like, any day I can leave here. Why? And when I leave here, what are they going to say about me? What is my spirit going to say to me? When I see my ancestors and myself on the other side, what am I going to say about myself? Dang, he sure worked the 9 to 5 real well. He always went to work. That's the only thing you can be able to say about me. I
Right.
didn't accomplish anything.
You didn't do
I
anything.
accomplished none of my desires, none of my. I didn't do anything for my mission. So I'm
You
like,
did
okay, I got to
nothing.
get myself together, man.
You did nothing, man. And
Yeah,
that's one thing that really helped me see that I cannot give my daughter my 401k. I can't leave it
mhm,
that legacy. When I
mhm,
retire from this company or something happens and I pass on, the company ain't gonna do nothing for my family.
exactly.
They ain't. I
They're
mean,
just
they
gonna
aren't gonna
replace
sell
you.
nothing.
They're
They
gonna
just gonna
replace
keep
you.
on money.
That's it.
And honestly, they're trying to hire somebody right now. So so since that once I saw that truth, or when I saw the light in that darkness, I knew that I need to
Mhm.
move like I need to move in my purpose.
Yes.
So what I'm doing now, having a podcast, talking to profound men like you, and being able to talk to people to understand more, not only of them, because when I understand people, or when I get a chance to understand a a person, that helps me understand myself.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
and truthfully, I really think that that's one of the highest forms of respect and love, is being able to understand somebody so that you can be understood.
Hmm.
And it's a constant exchange of reciprocity, and
Yeah.
that's the goal.
Walking in the shoes, regardless if the shoes fit or not, being able to put your feet in somebody else's shoes and comprehend and understand what somebody else is going through, emotionally, physically, spiritually, all of that. Being able to feel somebody else, because the tables always turn.
Mm-hmm.
Karma don't know the difference. Karma don't know the difference between positive and negativity. She only give you what you put out.
It's just energy,
It's
and
just
whatever you
energy.
give, she gonna give it right back to you.
Exactly.
Man,
Exactly.
bruh,
Man, this is good, man.
this is a good conversation.
Good.
Hey,
I'm not
man,
gonna lie. I had a piece of me, um, that fear came up, that fear of the unknown. And like I said, I
mhm,
tell people I'm still human, so I still
mhm,
get it. So I had that jitterness feeling. So I had a piece of me. Now I'm being completely transparent. That was
yeah.
like cancel, cancel, cancel. They don't want to hear you talk. I'm saying I still have that voice. We still have it. They don't
you
want to
know,
hear you
you know
talk.
what's so crazy? You know what's so crazy? I knew that. I knew that. Like I heard that. Like okay, like it was when like we were trying to get our dates line. They were like, I'm like, nah, we gonna do it later
And I yeah,
because
and I
because
appreciate that, man.
yeah, man. Because from what I've seen, from what I've known over time, it's like, bro, you are a genuine brother.
Yeah,
You need
appreciate
like,
that.
bro, we gotta have this conversation. We
Yeah.
gotta have this conversation. And
And I
I'm
don't mind
so
coming back. I
and,
don't mind coming back.
and I was actually going to ask you to come on back, man, because this is a conversation that I want to continue having a part two.
Yeah.
So, but yo, man, uh, like I said, definitely, please come back. And
Definitely.
this is a great conversation. And also, I want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight. This was a very transparent conversation. We exchanged things that were very vulnerable, and this is how men grow. Being
Mhm.
able to remove ego from a conversation and truthfully just showing who we are.
Yeah.
Because ego is only a barrier,
Hmm.
but truth is a boundary, and that's something that we have to build on.
Yep.
And I also want to thank IBM TV for having my show on tonight. Thank you, Ron, for not Ron. Thank you, Mark, for being a great producer and keeping the chat live. And also, as well, we will be back next time with my show. You can go to my YouTube at Enritual. You can go to Facebook. I have two Facebook pages that are the same name of my business, in Ritual. My Instagram is in Ritual, and so is TikTok, and it's Enritual. So a lot of things coming from me, and having another conversation with Moses. It's going to be a phenomenal time next time. So
Yes,
thank everybody for
sir.
tuning in this evening. You all have a blessed one. Peace.
Peace.